Listen, I'm just going to be straight up with you. One flew straight over the cuckoo's nest with this one. So basically, this lady says that all males should have mandatory vasectomies at birth that would give them the opportunity to prove that they deserve the right to reproduce. And basically, that would solve all of humanity's problems. Here we go.
Mandatory vasectomies for baby boys. Yeah, I said it. You want to solve half of society's problems? Start there. Because here's the truth, men don't want to wear condoms. They don't want accountability, they want raw. And when the baby comes, they say, oh, it's not my problem, so fine. Mandatory vasectomies. Problem solved.
So taking accountability for babies, right? What about the females? What about what they want? See, I live out in the country and not in whatever ghetto BS you're talking about, where real men actually take accountability for their babies. So what you're talking about is taking away from young men like me who turned out to actually be good dads, and like my wife who's a wonderful mother. You're taking away something very special from prospective young mothers. You said fix the fathers, fix the problem, but I thought you wanted to sterilize babies, which means that you're talking about like 20 years give or take into the future, with giving these babies time to become fathers, in which case they had to prove that they have the right to reproduce. I don't think you realize you're quite literally talking about trying to extinguish the human race.
Abortions, they would drop overnight. Date rape pregnancies, gone. Single motherhood, cut in half. Generational trauma, reduced. And crime would plummet. Because fatherless homes are the #1 pipeline to gangs, violence, and prison. Fix the fathers, fix the future. This one move would take women out of survival mode, kids out of poverty, and society out of chaos. And the only ones mad would be the ones that never wanted accountability in the first place.
Yeah, this one move would take kids out of poverty, but I never really expected someone to say, hey, let's delete the kids part and not the poverty part. See, what's going on here is you've got two brain cells, okay? And they're fighting, and they've been fighting for so long and so hard that they don't know what they're doing. Do you understand that? That was for you, Adrian.
So yeah, call it savage. But if we snip the problem at the root, we'd finally see what society looks like when women aren't carrying it all.
Snip the problem at the root. I don't even think she realizes. It probably just peanutted. She's that pretentious. That was hilarious. Sweet baby Jesus, there's a part 2. All right.
Let's talk return on investment, because mandatory vasectomies, the return on investment would be insane. If you saw part 1, you already know that society would transform. But if you didn't, pause right here and go watch that one first, because this is where it gets good. Fewer abortions, which mean lower healthcare costs. Fewer kids born into broken homes, which means less crime, less violence, and fewer prisons. That's billions saved every year. Billions. The foster care system would be less overloaded. Court systems cleared. Healthcare spending down. And even the economy grows because women are no longer shackled to survival. They're free to build careers, businesses, and futures. And children, they get a life of stability. They get safety. They get a chance at life without chaos.
What children?
And that, my friend, is the real return on investment. Not just dollars. Healthier families, safer streets, and stronger communities. And all because men finally had to prove that they were worthy of reproducing. So yeah, cry about it, kings, but the numbers don't lie. Vasectomy is the investment with the highest return on society we will ever see.
Can someone explain to this broad that if you're sterilized, then you can't prove you deserve the right to reproduce, because then you can't reproduce? That's like buying a brand new car, yanking a spark plug out, and then 20 years later making it prove it deserves a tune-up. Yeah, I think that works.
We've done part 1 and part 2. Now let's...
Nope, can't do it. I'm out. What? Do it?
Talk about why we're in the mess we're in. It's patriarchy. Men have been running the world for thousands of years. And look around. Does it look like this is working? They built systems that benefit them. Marriage laws, child support laws, custody laws that all support them and are stacked against women.
So marriage, child support, and custody laws are all stacked against women, huh? So if a man becomes successful and he amasses this fortune, and at first she leeches off of him, then she does the pool boy, then she takes half that fortune, then she takes the kids, then he has to pay child support, which is massive because again, he's successful, and all these things are stacked against women? Not all women are this way, but some have set up this exact scenario to try to live good, and I could see you being one of them. How's about this? Be a good woman, find a good man, have a baby, raise that baby to be either a good man or a good woman, and teach them to look for... rinse, repeat.
They built religions that told women that it was holy to serve men. They built governments where women couldn't even vote until yesterday in history's timeline.
Voting didn't even exist until yesterday's timeline. Or maybe we can go back in time and ask Genghis Khan how the popular vote went. Or Charlemagne. Or Alexander the Great. Napoleon. Timur. Vlad the Impaler. All the Ptolemies. Fidel Castro. I could keep going.
And now we are living in the wreckage. Single moms drowning, kids growing up without stability. Women carry the weight of families, economy, and communities, while men still like to call themselves leaders. It's not God's plan, it's patriarchy's plan. And that plan has failed. Don't miss this because part 3 is the real truth. Men running the world is what got us here. Women in leadership is gonna be what saves us.
Rena Valona, Elizabeth Bathory, Bloody Mary, Wu Zetian, Mary Queen of Scots, Isabella, Catherine the Great, Cleopatra. Spoiler alert, it didn't work out. Okay? Maybe instead of blaming men, blame bad rulers. Blame bad people. It's not always men. Who are you to say that the baby boys that we had 5 years ago, 4 years ago, and 4 months ago, respectively, don't deserve the right to reproduce? How's about this? Go back to your cats, because I know there's not a single partner who came attached with a penis who would put up with this incessant abuse from you. There is not a human man on this planet who would put up with you, and if by some miracle there is one, there's not a man in his family, and you can quote me on that. What you're doing here, it's shameless.
Shamelessness is a superpower. I'd never heard that before, so of course I had to look it up, and now I'm obsessed. Guess how shameless you have to be successful. Now multiply that number by 10, multiply it by 10 again, because that is how shameless you need to be to succeed.
Okay, fair enough. Because Lonely Cat Lady, if you like what I do, please leave a like, they really help. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.
They call her the Cat Lady. People say she's crazy just because she has a few dozen cats. But can anyone who loves animals that much really be crazy?